Hello and welcome back. I'm Lucy Wheeler, founder of Lucy Legal, the legal template shop for entrepreneurs. I am thrilled that you're here again to watch me, or hello if you're new there. I am chatting today all about creating a successful launch and what we've done wrong. I'm actually going to lift the lid on things that haven't worked for us, which I think is really important because too many people talk about the wins, and maybe I've been guilty before about not sharing the things that are tough and the things that didn't go right. So I'm going to jump right into it. I've got 5 points to talk to you about. If you've been here before, you'll know. You might want to grab a piece of paper to get these noted down, because this is not full of bluster and sort of self-gratification chat. This is me supporting you to run a wildly successful business. So let's get some work done. If you love these videos, if you have watched us before, then please ensure that you're subscribed. Please share as well, because that helps me to spread my message far and wide. So please do take a moment now to screenshot and share and to tell people that you're watching. So let's jump in. The first thing that you'll be doing if you are wanting to launch something, and I hate that word. I think it's so weird that in the online space, people talk about launching something. You don't really... Yes, in business, you hear about product launches and there's leading times and things, but there's this whole idea of bringing something out and taking something away. And I really believe in sustainable living and sustainable business. And part of that means that you're not so on this hamster wheel. And we'll talk about evergreen another time. I'm going to try and bring in a fantastic evergreen expert that I know to talk to you. And when people are launching, it might feel icky, it feels weird, it feels this on-off thing, and we can talk about that in another video. But what I'm wanting to talk about now is if you've got a new idea and you want to bring it to market, but that's a lot harder to say than launching, so I'm going to use the word launch. When you are launching something new, the key thing that you need to be doing, and there's sort of 2 elements as part of my 5 about the prep side of this, and one thing is to ask people what they want. So number 1, ask people what they want. Make sure you are really clear that whatever you bring to market is something that people love, because the reason that selling is hard is if your product is rubbish. It's really hard to sell something that's not good enough. And if you spend enough time talking to your audience and finding out what they need and what they want, and you deliver what they want, it's so easy to sell. And I've got this right and I've got this wrong. And one way that I use as marker, which you could use too, is to ask people to sign up for a wait list. If people want something, they will sign up to a wait list. Think about yourself in a lot of this. Marketing doesn't have to actually be that hard. Think about what you do and how you interact, and that if you want something, you would make sure your name was on it. If you want to go to the club, you get your name on the list, don't you? And it's about talking in a way, so doing a video, go live on your social media, send an email out, do whatever it is that feels good for you, keep in a way that feels good for your business, and ask people if they're interested. And if you get tumbleweed, that's the wrong thing to do. And I really do not like the idea of selling something before you've created it. That stands away from everything I believe in. It feels false, it feels fake that you'd be selling people into a program if you haven't even created it. So I'm not suggesting that you sell it before you create it, but you get people excited and that you talk to them about it. And I did this incredibly once on stories, and it brought in 2,000 easily, just on a weekend. I said to people, this is what people are doing wrong when they're selling online. And I talked about people and the mistakes they made, and I said these are all the mistakes that people are making when they're selling. They're talking about offers, they're saying money off when they'll sort of launch something and say, oh, this is the money off. Well, there can't be money off a product if it hasn't been available for sale before. You can't purchase it, that's illegal. Lots of different things that people kept getting wrong, refunds, like details about how to give a refund, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, I want this, I need help, I don't really understand whether I'm allowed to put something on offer or not, what phraseology should I use for a launch, what is my refund policy, do I have to give a refund, because I see people put no refunds all the time, and that's illegal. You can't say no refunds. People always have a statutory right for a refund, and it depends whether you're a business owner or if you are a consumer as to who you're selling to, as to what that right would be. So I sort of was getting really passionate about it on my Instagram stories, and people were like, yeah, we want this. So I launched it, and it was $2,000 easily. And that was just in that launch weekend, and it's gone on to sell. So think about what people want. And that's point 1. Point 2, get a promo time frame. So work out when you're going to launch something and get the promo sorted out, and work out when you're going to be talking about it. Work out when you can schedule lives. You've got to talk about your offer. And it always I feel like it, like, God, everybody's heard about this. And yet I met somebody at an event a couple of months ago, and they said, oh, I really wanted to buy your program, but then I got an email, but then I didn't see anything more about it. Maybe they were being polite and they just didn't buy. But I then thought, well, you've got to tell people more. And I always think, oh God, like I'm talking to people too much. And there's another point on this in a moment, but get this time frame in is the key point here of what you're going to do, how you're going to talk to people about it. So you've got this initial phase of asking people what they want and ensuring it's something they want. So that's part of it too. But then saying, oh, do you remember what I said about that? And actually having a bit of a strategy and a plan in, because if you're launching something and you're busy doing other things as well, you've got client work, and there's lots happening, and it's not just the launch, you've got other balls in the air too, you've got family things. Having this framework is going to be really helpful to just say you're going live here. Perhaps you can ask someone who's done a course or worked with you before to jump on a live and say why they love stuff. Can you pull in testimonials? Can you get real people? Can you make it personable? And remember the outcomes. People do not buy a course. Like, I'm not like, oh, I really want to buy a course. I'm going to look for a course to do. Like, that's not what we do. People don't want to buy a legal template. They don't want a template. Like I've said before, I sell people a good night's sleep. I give people confidence. I let people have the most incredible business and life because they've got the legal stuff in place, that they can go on holiday and they're not worried that the whole business is going to fall apart whilst they're away, because they're really clear and they've got good boundaries in place. That's what legal templates do. What does your business do? And what do you actually sell? You're not selling a course. And then this is the bit that I want to talk to you now. Point 3. Point 3 to a successful launch is get the bonuses in place. And we've had various successes with this, so I'm going to give you a bit of a behind the scenes here as to what's worked and what hasn't worked. When we haven't given bonuses in place, put any bonuses in, the launches haven't done well. When we haven't done that legwork and talked about things enough, the launches haven't done well and products haven't gone well. So I've got a lot of experience, and I see a lot of businesses now. One of the things I offer through my law firm is consultancy, so I can sit in your business and support you with the legal elements. And as part of that, I sit in team meetings and I see what other people are doing too. So I have quite a unique point of view. It's not just my own business success that I can see and what's worked and what hasn't. It's working with a number of people. And remember, part of my job is to create contracts, so I know what deliverables other people are doing. I know what they're offering. I know what results they're giving. So I know this market really, really well. And I know that everybody makes mistakes and nobody's as successful as they make it out that they look online. And we did 3 launches in a month. Do not do that. We added on 3 new templates because I was just desperate to get them out because they've been delayed for various different reasons. And so we did very different things. And we had wait lists for them all. There are people that signed up to that. But we played around with the monetary side to it. And that is point 4 is price. So points 3 and 4 here, bonuses and price. People purchase when there's a price drop or a price change or a price is going to go up. So as I said before, you've got to be really careful when you're launching not to suggest that there's money off if it's never been available at a higher purchase price before. So what you need to do is carefully explain how much the product or service will be available for and when it will be available at the price increase. People are incentivized to buy if they think they're going to save money, but they're also incentivized to buy for bonuses. So one thing that worked so well for us was putting in place incredible bonuses. So if you don't want to change your price and you're you're clear on, you've mapped out your pricing and you feel that that's just annoying to change, and the fact that you want to work on actually just giving more value, which is fine. You don't have to launch with a lower price and try and incentivize people in. You don't have to give people money off. And that as well, something that people get wrong all the time. They think if you pay by installments or if you pay all in one, that you can give this big money off. You can't. That's illegal too, or it's really bordering on illegal if you don't have the terms in place to make it correct. So look at the bonuses and how people can buy and when. So we did ones over a weekend. That works the best for us. So if you do something on a Friday and say you've got till Sunday, it's a short period of time if people remember. When it's been too long, hasn't worked as well. When we've hit up to Black Friday, it hasn't worked as well. And it might be pretty obvious, but look at the calendar would be a huge tip for you here. And that's in your promos thing as well. And when you're going to be launching something, is check what else is happening in the world. I've had clients who have said they didn't have successful launches, but it's because there was a global pandemic, guys. If you've not realised, I don't really need to tell you, but things were tricky at times. Every time Boris was announcing that he was going to be speaking at 5 o'clock, I just knew like that evening, there's no point trying to like sell anything on social media at that point, because people are on their phones, WhatsApping their friends and talking about what's going on. But anyway, don't want to have a political video here, but you've got to be aware of the wider environment. Is it Mother's Day? Is it Valentine's Day? Is it Black Friday? And if it is, can you use that as an option to sell? Well, how does that fit into your marketing campaign? And that's probably for another video in terms of your overall yearly plan. And when would be a good time to sell, especially for product businesses, having those windows. You don't want to be having a sale on if you're a product business and your busiest time of the year is Mother's Day. So you planning that in. And as I said before, point 4 is price. Having that price variation is something that really, really works well. It has to be significant, we've realised. If it's just sort of like £5, people aren't that interested, but it has to be a significant proportion. And it has to also not, I don't want to say annoy people, but you're selling a product to somebody and you've got to kind of be a little bit clear as to why you're going to put a price hike on. Do you know, like, so for us, we always do introductory offering. We have like set pricing. We're quite reliable in that we say often something will be like £99 before it then will go up to the price it's going to be. But why should someone pay double the next day? Like you've got to kind of treat your clients with respect in that way, in terms, especially as well, about paying by installments. Think about yourself as a business owner. What do you like to do? Do you like to pay everything up front and put all of your money into something? Or do you like to pay by installments? And if that is how you would buy, then treat your clients like that too and allow them to pay by installments at no extra charge, bearing in mind that adding on extra charges may be illegal, may not be, depending on how you set it up. So they're all the 4 points. The big point as well, point 5, don't give up. Do not give up in your promo when you're doing things, because so many times I have sold right at the end. Right at the end, people buy. And another legal tip for you, people cannot buy when the doors have closed. You cannot let people in through the back door, which is I hear all the time. You cannot let people have an offer after the offer has ended, because people who have purchased early have been incentivized to buy. So again, a law-breaking thing. This was all in this Sell Legit program that I talked about before. And you can learn about it. It's now all packaged up in Get Legit the course. I'll pop the link in for you in the comments. Get Legit the course. We go through all of this, all of the details of how to sell online and how to ensure that you are showing up properly as a legitimate business owner. But yeah, part of that is don't give up. I was working with somebody and she said, keep going, keep selling, keep sending those emails, because think about people who have meaning to do it and just not quite getting around to it. And so I did, and we made a lot of money. Sometimes selling an email, we've made £1,000 just by sending an email, not selling an email, but just by sending an email when I really just thought there's no point, like people aren't interested. And that's why people do say mindset is one of those things, one of the most important things in business, because people are interested in what you're doing. They just have a million other things that they're interested in too. And they probably do really want to work with you, but they forget. And you've got to remind them, and you've got to help them, and you've got to not give up on sharing your message. And also, just because someone doesn't work with you right away doesn't mean they won't work with you. I have had people contact me and said, I love the training you did, and asking questions about how they can get more support. And then I go back and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, which training was that? And it's trainings I've done for people as part of a membership 2 years before. And that's so fascinating for me to now see that people who are watching trainings from like 2019 are seeing me, seeing what I'm doing, and saying, yeah, I'm ready now. I want to go ahead, and I want to make that work. I want to get the legal elements in my business. So that is so important, to just not give up. So I'm going to draw this to a close now. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that this one has been very much about legal stuff and about running a business. And it's not necessarily been as exciting for anyone who isn't running a business. But the next video is all about how I have managed to leave my 9 to 5. And the news is out there now that my husband has done the same. We have both now working for our businesses, for ourselves, and that's huge. That's such a huge achievement. Like, I can't believe it. Like, I dreamt that this might happen, and I hoped it would, to give us the flexibility in our lifestyle so that we could travel and so that we could both spend time with our little daughter. But I never really dreamed it would happen. Well, I dreamed it would happen, but I didn't believe, and I was nervous, let's say. I'm going to chat to you all in the next video about how we've made that happen. Really clear, strategic. This is what we did. These were the goals. This is where we had to be, in case you're interested and you want to do that yourself. And if you have any questions, could you pop them in the comments so that I can make sure that I include anything that you need support with in the video when I film it. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I have been Lucy Wheeler, known as Lucy Legal. If you need any support with running your business, check out the links below. You'll find lucylegal.co.uk/start here, where you can find a really helpful checklist and flow diagram to support you with the legal elements of running a business. Speak next time.